So we'll see. I think the Mets are fully expecting Daniel Murphy not to take the offer. Murphy is likely to get 3-4 year deal outside, over 10 million per year, particularly with his MVP performance in the NLCS. Unfortunately, his defensive deficiencies were shown in the World Series, so we'll see if that depresses his value. But Murphy is versatile. He can play first base or third base. In fact, third base is his natural position. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. It'll be sad to lose Murphy. He's been a great Met his whole career. Still the most difficult man in the whole league to strike out, which is probably an underrated skill. But sort of putting the ball.
Mets only All-Star last year, or not last 2014.
2014. Wasn't Harvey an All-Star in 2014?
No, he was out. Tommy John.
Oh, 2013 he was All-Star. Right. Yeah. So it'll be sad to lose him, but the Mets have Dilson Herrera in the wings to take over second base, and they've got Ruben Tejada, of course, out there. Oh, Jamie, we haven't talked about the Chase Utley play, have we? Or did we? We talked about it last time.
I think we have.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, Tejada was in the dugout during the playoffs, which provided a big boost for the fans. Hopefully he'll be back next year. And so the Mets will have three young, up-the-middle players. I wouldn't say they're the strongest defensively, but I think certainly Wilmer Flores has gotten better and better defensively through the year. And Dilson Herrera is a solid defensive second baseman with a lot of offensive upside, so it'll be interesting and exciting to watch him develop. The Mets' other big need, Jamie, a power-hitting center fielder, or maybe a speedy center fielder. There's been some talk about, if we don't re-sign Cespedes, getting a lefty to platoon.
What about Alex Gordon? Alex Gordon.
Well, we've got our two corners pretty much locked up. Plus, we've got Kadire, whom we're paying $12.5 million to back up the corner outfield spot. So I don't think there's a natural fit there. Gordon, of course, he brings Gold Glove defense and solid hitting.
I was thinking about Jason Hayward, but I don't know if the Mets will go for him.
Hayward's likely to command a huge salary, though. The Cardinals have given him a qualifying offer.
Or he was not like Dexter Fowler.
Yep, I think that's another possibility. Hayward is the best defending center fielder in the league. He's only
center/right.
Right. How old is he? He's like 26.
26.
So he's got a huge offensive potential still, which I think he's shown in the past, but I don't think he's put it together all for one season yet. So that I think it would be great if we could get Hayward, but I think it would be a lot of money.
His first season, the big leagues, he was an all-star. That was the only year. Surprise! Well, this year he was great the second half. First half, not so much, but he's always been very good defensively. His first year, he batted .277, 18 homers, 72 RBIs, 11 stolen bases.
His WAR must be really high, huh?
Yeah.
What's his WAR?
His WAR. Oh. Let's take a look. His WAR.
WAR is, of course, wins above replacement, which has become a favorite metric, especially of those sabermetric-oriented GMs. So it's a number of wins that a player generates above the replacement player.
6.5.
6.5. That must be one of the highest in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this year, 293 batting average, 359 on-base percentage. He had 13 homers, 60 RBIs, 23 stolen bases. I think his best season came in 2012 when he had 269 batting average, 27 homers, 82 RBIs, and 21 stolen bases.
Yeah, he's a superstar in the making. And unlike Cespedes, he has a very high on-base percentage, and it's probably less streaky than Cespedes. Cespedes certainly has more raw power, and Cespedes has a better arm. But Hayward has a pretty good arm too, and covers more range in center field.
Mm-hmm.
Cespedes is probably better as a left fielder at the end of the day. But Cespedes is 30. He wants a 6-year deal. The Mets, under Sandy Alderson, what's the longest deal they've given? Grandy's deal, right?
Mhm.
Is that what, 4 years?
So
Well, except for, of
yeah.
course, David Wright's crazy deal, but
Yeah.
that's to the captain.
Mhm.
Michael Kadire has just underwent surgery, where they said for his core area. So I wonder if that contributed to his struggles down the stretch.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, he is 35, 36, so you expect some regression, but certainly he fell off a lot this year, which is unfortunate. He was getting it together before he got injured. I think he batted 300 for one of the middle months of the season. So hoping he gets it all together. He just looked terrible at the end of the year. In the playoffs, he was at bat. He was given 12 at bats, struck out 7 times. He made 2 awful plays in the field. So much so that after that game, the Mets didn't even play him in the field, and he just became an expensive pinch hitter who was striking out. So let's hope he can get it together next year. Of course, he's David Wright's buddy, which is why we signed him in the first place. But let's hope he can contribute a bit more next year.
Uh-huh.
Who else are we losing? We're losing Parnell, Clippard, out of the bullpen.
Uribe.
Yeah, and then
Johnson.
Yeah. So Uribe could be a good signing for us. We need someone to
Blevins.
back up David Wright in case he gets hurt during the season, which seems to happen
I
every
think
year.
we should re-sign Jerry Blevins.
Jerry Blevins, yeah.
Because we need that lefty reliever out of the bullpen.
And he could be cheap because he's coming off injury. How about Josh Edgin will be back next year?
Mm-hmm.
And we signed this new guy to the 40-player roster, right, Jamie? Josh Smoker. He's got like a 97 miles an hour fastball. I think he's a former Nationals guy, too. So, and Vic Black isn't talked about at all anymore. Is he just completely fallen off?
He's just falling apart.
Really? Can't pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, starting pitching will still be our strength next year. The core rotation will be back and stronger. DeGrom, Harvey, Syndergaard, Matz. Matz this year has shown that he's really just a 5-6 inning pitcher so far, but hopefully with another, after his first half season, he'll be able to come out and go longer in games next year. Zach Wheeler, we're getting back from Tommy John in July. Zach Wheeler, of course, the former highly touted prospect that we got from the Giants in the Carlos Beltran trade. And I remember a lot of Giants fans were really upset that they had to give up Wheeler to get Beltran. But anyway, Wheeler could be back. So, I think he's definitely not necessarily the fifth starter amongst that 5 group. He's a peer. So we'll have 5 outstanding potential aces, which I think is going to be pretty rare in Major League history. And then for insurance purposes, we still have John Neese, who'll pitch 5th until Wheeler's ready. And we still have Logan Verrett and Rafael Montero, both who could be starting pitchers easily, sort of like the number 3, number 4, or number 5 guy on other teams. So that's really 8 pitchers we have under control next year, all of whom are Major League ready. Cologne, it'll be, Sandy said he's
open
to it, to bring him back, but it'll have to be as a reliever. But I think Cologne's shown himself to be a fantastic reliever in the postseason. He, student of the game, he knew how to pitch in every situation to every player. So I think even though he'll be 43 next year, we'll see what happens there.
So, that being said, this offseason has a lot to offer. A lot of top free agents. It's going to be an exciting one.
The Cubs could become even scarier. They're looking for
David Price,
a number 3 starter.
Price.
Yeah, David Price, who of course used to pitch under John Madden over in Tampa Bay.
Joe Madden, but yeah.
Joe Madden, yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out.
The Dodgers, they're losing Zach Greinke, so we'll see if he resigns with
The
them.
Giants are looking to make a strong run for him.
Yeah, even year for the Giants, so they should be in the mix. They were actually one of the better hitting teams last year, one of the best hitting teams in the majors.
They've,
They were hurt by injuries, and
especially Hunter Pence.
they've got a lot of salary